Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope everybody is doing well. I want to talk about the snowman coup that's happening. Like nobody is talking about it. It's a continuation of the coup that was already happening and the nation being sold from right under the citizens, the taxpayers. But this here just is wild how we let a non-citizen come in with, I'm sure, no security clearance. Although he may have a security clearance because he does business with uh, DARPA, and I'm sure some other probably federal research innovation office. But it's just the point of the people who say they're taking their country back. And the people who voted for this man, like literally must be, everybody's paralyzed. Like you're seeing it, but nobody's doing nothing about nothing. And I would like to say that I'm very proud of the Negroes who are sitting down, sitting back, um, minding their business because we have been sounding the alarm for a very long time about what was coming. And people have been thinking that they will be able to vote their way into a better situation, and they will not because the institution itself is corrupt, has always been corrupt, will always be corrupt because it's a white supremacist system and it is based on the Ponzi scheme. The few at the top need a whole bunch of poor peons at the bottom to get rich and to keep the whole system going or the car going. The government cannot continue without the little guy. And they have ran this place into the ground. They have sold it out, which is why that's what Ukraine and Israel is about. And now they're getting ready to recolonize these brown nations. They want to recolonize uh, South America and they want to recolonize Africa, steal resources, and survive. And if that don't work, they have a plan B to take their butts out into space and try to tear it up. Although I really think the space efforts are to try to uh, reach the Most High. It's a Tower of Babel type of thing. I don't think that they're going to try to escape the planet because it's much easier to just stop doing what you're doing and be equal and fair and save the planet. But instead, you want to tear it up, spray up the air, mess up the water, mess up the food, uh, destroy the minds of the people, make countries dysfunctional, exploit the resources, hoard everything for yourself, tell lies, and have people buying into stuff that they'll never, ever actually um, possess or come into. But just everything is a Ponzi scheme. And so as this lie falls apart, and as we begin to see the emperor's underwear, because he ain't got no clothes no more, I'm just like flabbergasted of, just the way that white people are just like not doing nothing. This their country. It don't matter which side of the aisle you're on, if you're white or you're black. This your place. We don't have a place here. We don't have a dog in the fight. No matter what we do, we are undermined. And so most black people are of the mindset we is tired, and no matter what happens, we already know we're going to get the brunt of or the worst of whatever comes. And because we are accustomed to it, ain't really much they can do to us that we ain't already seen them do. We already seen slavery. We already seen the 13th Amendment and them putting us in prison. for free labor. We've already experienced Jim Crow and black codes. We've already experienced, red summers, having our towns flooded, having crosses burned. Like, we know where they are getting ready to go back to because that's their go to. Esau is violent and rules with the sword. That's how Esau rules. And so, for Jacob, Jacob been fleeing forever. Ever. Ain't nothing changed. Nothing new under the sun. And so as Esau's uh, kingdoms fail and fall, we can expect Esau to lash out. But in the meantime, we got to deal with the slow process of watching all the things that we have become accustomed to and rely on as being a part of this system be taken from us. And so I want to talk about that part because, again, we need to prepare. All this stuff is a part of the Project 2025 agenda that they have been telling us about not long before Code 45 was elected. And they are moving quickly. And when I say quickly, I do mean quickly to dismantle the rest of what was the United States of America. And as Minister Yacoba says from the End of the World Ministries, um, America is going through a liquidation. The tech kings they've already visited Rome. We saw them before Code 45 was elected, and they are doing what they have been told to do. They are dismantling the old system. They are getting the information that they need so that they can digitize everything, transition that information to the United Nations, and move on. America is the last obstacle to the new global order, and it just feels like everybody is going along with it. Like, everybody feels as though they don't have any power. They can't say anything. They're not doing anything, and they're just standing by watching, like, with their mouths open. And I keep hearing the words constitutional crisis being thrown around, but nobody's doing nothing. Um, the Democrats can't do nothing because they worried about their secrets coming out. And the Republicans can't do nothing because they got all these MAGA people with guns and stuff ready to do stuff to them. So they can't do nothing. So everybody is like paralyzed. Everybody, one got dirt, the other one got guns. And, for us black people, we just sitting back like, well, we saw this coming. We've been to this movie before. But now people are like, well, where are the black people? Black people need to stand up and come. We need to work together. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. We've been trying to work with y'all for a long time, and y'all keep telling us lies, and y'all keep inserting alphabets and females and Asians and Indians and this one and that one, the good submissive token African, the token Caribbean, the token whatever, to replace us. And everybody's touting in our faces how much better they are than us, and oh, we're so uncooperative and lazy. Well, we just being uncooperative and lazy still. We just ain't helping nobody. We are focused on ourselves, but we are keeping an eye on this collapse. And it's very important that we do, because a lot of things that we rely on the local level comes from Washington. And what you're going to find is you're going to learn a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, and a lot of people are going to experience delays and losses of services and resources because they're cutting out anything and everything to divert resources and to fulfill plans for the 2025 agenda. By the end of the year, a lot of things are supposed to happen. And some of it is natural, some of it is tied to prophecy. Well, all of it is tied to prophecy, but some of it is natural, some of it is governmental, some of it is religious, some of it is going to be pestilence and plagues and famines, um, famine of food and famine of the word. So just a lot of stuff is happening. But the fact that they have this unelected man up in the office standing next to the president talking about what he's going to do, like he the president and the president standing next to him quiet, that's all. I mean, come on. This country done. It is done. You should be scared every day that you wake up that your money ain't going to be in the bank. You should be scared every day when you wake up that you're gonna find out you under a regime. You're under a oligarchy, and the Constitution has been suspended, and they're ready to start rounding up Negroes. Um, the King Alfred's plan. Now, I've been talking about this plan for a little bit, not a whole lot, but I want to just mention to you that some of the pieces in this plan, they're going about different ways, but they're going to end up at the same place that they want to end up. And I strongly suggest y'all look at that plan really good. Look at some of the things that they said they were going to do. Look at everything that they said they were going to do, especially concerning black people and brown people. The pieces that they are already implementing are the pieces for the brown people, because the emergencies are already been declared, and they've been doing it quietly and slowly. Dismantling programs, dismantling institutions, closing down institutions, getting rid of people in certain positions, uh, uh, beefing up law enforcement, just all sorts of things. Enforcing these digital mechanisms that require biometric data, digital IDs and stuff. And then you look at, they're sending these illegal entrants home. They're not detaining them. So if they're not detaining them, who are all these places for? Or who will be in all these places that they have cleared out, opened up, built for criminals? You gotta know that's for us. They're gonna detain us. Once the Constitution is suspended, you don't have any rights. You really don't have no rights now. You black, you don't have no rights. But once it's official, which it seems like it's heading that way, once the Constitution is suspended, the Bill of Rights is suspended, they can hold you indefinitely. They can beat you, mistreat you. Nothing will happen. As you can see, there is no criminal court on the planet that will do anything to the United States. So you're just going to be over here, um, you know, if you get rounded up with, with no support, no help. And then you add to that, we don't like each other. We don't trust each other. We don't work together. We don't got nothing. We ain't been trying to have nothing. And our people still out here living wild and recklessly, buying stuff, consuming stuff, not trying to downsize their lives and prepare for possibly life on the fringes of society. It's a very scary time. And I'm not going to talk about politics, because as far as I'm concerned, politics don't even matter at this point. It's all a lie. Everything is two sides, good and evil. That's what everything is about, good and evil. God and the adversary. Truth and lies. That's it. And right now, the lies are winning. The adversary is winning. It's his season, and he is doing it up. He's doing the most. And bad is in rulership. So it's not that it hadn't always been this way, but it's overt now. It's not hiding. It doesn't have to hide. And so we need to really be on guard and understand that this is a dangerous time for us, and things are going to move real quick. Um, even for me, I have, just had to, do a lot of things. I've had to do inventory on my own life because it's coming to a point where I can't rely on my own work with all of these freezes, stops and starts. Agencies and bureaus may be gone, employees may be gone. One day I could just get up, I could be working on an assignment, and the next day I don't have no work, which means I can't pay my bills. Life is that uncertain for most of us who rely on somebody else's job or projects for our livelihoods. And it doesn't matter whether you are a home builder and your projects rely on lines of credit from banks or whatever. If you don't have the money, what's going to happen? If you got cash or liquid assets and you got to store it in the bank and they take your money, what you going to do? How you going to get paid? How you going to finish your projects? If they get rid of the Department of Education, you don't have money to pay for a babysitter. What you going to do? They're talking about getting rid of education. That's the babysitter for the whole country. Free babysitter. What you gonna do? That means school's gonna shut down. No teachers to babysit your kids. Nobody to fake teach them. What are you gonna do? How you gonna go to work? If you don't have money, how you gonna pay your light bill? How you gonna pay your mortgage or your rent? How will you buy groceries? They're cutting out food stamps. They're cutting out unemployment. They're offering people buyouts, and what happens if they collapse the economy before you're able to access your savings, your 401k or your IRAs or whatever. It's a lot of stuff going on, and most people are just oblivious to the ramifications of what's happening with Elon Musk. So I want to read this particular story, but I just wanted to touch on the fact I didn't want to let it go by that I'm not, I just want y'all to know I am paying attention to what's happening when it comes to this administration. But there's nothing we can do. Donald Trump is overseeing the dissolution of what was the United States of America, and now it is something else transitioning to this, whatever. And I guess I'm assuming it's preparing for judgment, so it's trying to divert as many resources as it can and make life as miserable for us as they can because they don't care. And that's the takeaway. Um, that's the takeaway you should have. And I'm gonna do a movie review for a movie I'm gonna recommend for y'all. It's a really good. It's not a movie. It's a docu-series, but it's telling you basically ain't nobody gonna save you, and they've given you all of the signs they can give you. They have puffed themselves up. They have lied to us. But just like I've been telling you, you are going to be the help that you looking for because these people ain't going to do nothing for you. So you should be trying to figure out how you're going to protect yourself when all hell breaks loose, how you're going to have a few little resources for a couple days, and then, creating your own plans in your community or just for your family and having something so that, when people do start coming your way, you can be of source and kind of be a leader in your community for a small group of people. Although I'm just going to be honest. The way people are today, in decent times, I ain't going to want to forge no relationships with people when things get bad because people are wicked. They don't care about you. They are wicked. People are selfish. People will take from you, even people in your own family. Even people in your own family. So I'm going to get into this story and then I'm going to end this video. So it says Elon Musk calls for the U.S. government to delete entire agencies, remove the roots of the weed. And this story was published today, February 13th, 2025. So key points. Quote, I think we need to delete entire agencies as opposed to leave part of them behind. It's kind of like leaving a weed, end quote, Musk said. Now, if you so rich, why you work, I'm just so annoyed. And at the end of the day, I'm annoyed with Edom, Esau, Gentiles, white people. because y'all create these systems and y'all be so happy when other people are experiencing the L's. But now everybody is feeling the L, including them. And now it's, oh, we need to work together. No, no, we tired. We just tired. Let it fall. Let it fall. The South African-born engineer and tech entrepreneur has been named by Trump as a special government employee and the head of the new entity under the administration called DOGE, or the Department of Government Efficiency. Notice, again, it's named after the Dogecoin. This man is nothing but snake oil salesman, just like Donald Trump. The birds of a feather flock together. The Most High put them there for this season, but we need to recognize who they are and, again, come out of this system so it won't fall on top of our head. The United States government needs to delete entire agencies in a cost and efficiency drive, tech billionaire and Tesla co-founder and CEO Elon Musk said Thursday. When asked about the changes he is implementing as part of President Trump's administration will last beyond Trump's term. I think we do need to delete entire agencies as opposed to leave part of them behind. It's kind of like leaving a weed, Musk said. Quote, if you don't remove the roots of the weed, then it's easy for the weed to grow back. But if you remove the roots of the weed, it doesn't stop weeds from ever going back, but it makes it harder. Whatever. So profound. Ugh. Musk, who also founded SpaceX and owns social media platform X, made the comments while speaking via video link to an audience at Dubai's annual World Governments Summit. World Governments Summit. Did you hear that? This is why the man is there doing what he does. He's a globalist. He don't care about you. He not like us. He probably ain't even human. As part of the conversation hosted by the UAE's Artificial Intelligence Minister, Omar Sultan Al-Olama. Quote, so we have to really delete entire agencies, many of them, Musk said. And that's not to say there won't be an increase over time of bureaucracy in some new administration, but it will be from a much lower baseline. So certainly it's a step in the right direction. So I don't know if that means there's going to be more privatization where there are going to be like more gig economy jobs that they outsource. I don't know how it's going to work, or they're just going to give a bunch of stuff to a bunch of incompetent people, which is probably what they're going to do because that's what white people do. Just keep it a buck. They make sure they got themselves some work and they don't care about nobody else. So I just, I don't know. I can't even imagine that this is happening. It's just very difficult to believe that people are letting this happen. But now it's easy to see how, the N-word Germany happened. And any other coup that happened, throughout history. It's easy to see because people they believe anything. They have short-term memories. They're cowards. They don't stand for nothing. And most of them are just selfish. Most people are selfish. And I've come to that realization, which is why I stay to myself most times. As long as people can, you will fight for them, they won't fight for you. You can stand for them. Most people ain't going to stand for you. Or they're not going to stand for their entire community. There are few collective warriors out here. And then most people come to some point where they just like, I'm tired of caring about people. I'm just going to care about myself. I don't know. It's just a weird time to be alive. And I just pray that the Most High does not harden my heart to such a place where I forget about people, where I mistreat people. Now, I ain't finna keep caring about people who don't care about me either. I'm closing them doors now, which is why I'm advising our people to sit on the sidelines and not get involved in this stuff, because at the end of the day, they're ready to attack us. Everything that they're doing is taken away from things that we benefit from, including the government jobs. You go to Washington D.C. and you look at how many jobs are held by black people, in particular black women. A lot of jobs, a lot of women I know that have worked for a lot of different federal agencies have been there for decades. Good people. I like my colleagues, but I know that they're probably going to lose their jobs, and that's the goal, because DC was a chocolate city. Maryland is a chocolate city. Virginia, not so much, but still, a lot of black people and a lot of brown people work for the federal government. So they got a clean house so they can get these jobs back to white people. And we're just watching or witnessing white supremacy is reinventing itself, and that's what we need to realize. We don't have no friends, and this black and brown coalition, like I said a long time ago, doesn't exist. It never existed, and there's no such thing as fighting racism in this system. The only thing that's going to fight Esau is the Most High. And so once you get that in your system and you come out of it, you separate yourself and you only focus on, you know, your Israelite interest, life just becomes a whole lot simpler and cleaner. Anybody who wants to cleave to us, I'm fine with that, but I'm not following anybody anymore. I'm tired. And I'm tired of trying to convince our people that we don't need to work with nobody. We need to focus on us. And if folks can't understand that by now, it's tragic for them. We don't have any more arms to extend olive branches to nobody. We need to heal and try to work and preserve ourselves like other cultures and other people, other nations of people do. And just try to not let this world taint us, because things are getting ready to get rough. Just say that. So nothing's forever, he added, but I think we can strengthen the foundations of the United States substantially. Trump appointed the South African-born engineer and tech entrepreneur as a special government employee and the head of a new advisory body called the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, under the administration. So y'all know they already had to have this stuff together. And keep in mind, both Trump and Elon went to go visit the Pope, and they are Khazar ball garglers. Musk has been vocal about his aim to improve government efficiency and reduce bureaucracy and regulations, and on Thursday said that such efforts could amount to $1 trillion reduction in the federal deficit by 2026. Musk has already taken an axe to the U.S. Agency for International Aid, which is USAID, the international humanitarian and development arm of the U.S. government, by essentially furloughing the majority of its staff and freezing its funding. So that means a lot of people who work for USAID lost their jobs. Some can get employment. Interns lost their internships. From my understanding, a lot of people were stranded overseas. So this is a huge deal. And a lot of countries that rely on this aid to feed their people are going to starve. So this is where your famine is going to start. And this is also where other nations are going to begin to retaliate against America. So this is not going to be nothing good for us. We just have to pray that people see we didn't have anything to do with nothing, and they don't retaliate against our nation of people. The sudden change is affecting millions of people around the world, particularly in poorer countries. The Trump administration in early February said that USAID would shut down as an independent agency and be moved under the State Department, a change that would require congressional approval. So that was the end of that particular story. But I did want to bring attention to the fact that the coup is happening. It was a soft coup during the Papa administration. Now it is a hardcore coup. I think this is the final phase of it because they need to hurry up and transition us. This 2030 agenda has a, a very expeditious time frame. They need to get things done quickly, and as you can see, it's a lot of stuff happening all over the globe, and people just they are trying to move quick so they can have all the pieces in place by their deadlines. It doesn't matter one iota about us or how it inconveniences us. So keep preparing. Get your money out this system. Y'all see these tariffs. Um, Things are going to get really expensive. Things are really going to start hurting us. And things that we need are not going to be there, or we're not going to be able to afford it. I saw today that Joann's Fabric is closing. So if you need sewing stuff, craft stuff, go look and buy stuff. Needles, threads, sewing machines, things like that. We don't know what we might need. Little sewing kits, books on how to sew, you know, you just never know. And just take note of what's closing. A lot of stores are closing. A lot of things are not going to be here. And those are big box national retailers. The little mom and pop stores going to close too. Grocery stores going to close or start having less product in stores because they're not going to be able to keep the shelves stocked with fresh food because people are not going to have the money to buy the stuff. Everything is going to be a ripple effect, y'all. Don't think that this just going to go away. It's not going away. It's going to get worse. And so that's why I've been telling y'all to stock up for the last couple of years. I'm going to continue to tell y'all, go get what you need. Do not play around, because over the next probably 30, 45 days when these tariffs start hitting, you're going to start seeing shortages. And even big box retailers like Lowe's and Home Depot may end up having to close a lot of stores because they may not be able to get things like steel or the products that are placed in their stores. The companies may not be able to access the things that they need to make simple stuff like nails and equipment for home building. If people are not buying homes, that's going to be a problem. Home builders are going to be laid off, not buying supplies. People can't get mortgages. They're not going to be getting houses built. 15-minute city's going up though, so it's going to be a market. But are you going to be in a position to benefit from that? Do you want to? Because hey, you helping the B system. Are you going to have a clear conscience about that? So anyway, I'm in this video. The coup is happening real fast, and America is being sold off. The tech kings are running the country, and the people ain't doing nothing. But black people doing exactly what they're supposed to do. You're supposed to be getting your rest, preparing yourself, and watching every move that the adversary makes, because we know that they're going to come for us eventually. They done sent all these brown people home. These white people don't think they supposed to pick nothing. They gonna want to eat, but they ain't gonna want to farm. They don't want to pick no oranges. They don't want to pick lettuce and greens and spinach. They don't want to pick peppers. They don't want to fix nothing. They want somebody else to do it, because that's how this country was built. And so the clash is coming. Just as sure as you say no, they gonna get mad and they gonna lash out. Get ready. Pray, prep, repent, and keep that Sabbath, because things about to get real rough for us. and knowing it's half the battle. All right, y'all. This is Marta K. Love you.